I'd like to welcome you all back to our weekly broadcast. I hope you've enjoyed the last several weeks. You know, we started talking to you about the class of 2020 and how the coronavirus and the school closure has impacted them. Then we featured a meal distribution and how we're trying to feed our community throughout the crisis. And last week we talked to you about our Teachers of the Year. This week we have another special session set up for you. We're going to talk about how learning is continuing during the school closure. And to kick off that discussion, we're going to turn to our Chief Learning Officer, Dr. Karen Woodford.
Hello, I'm Karen Woodford, Chief Learning Officer for Bedford County Public Schools, and I want to share with you today a little bit about what teachers across the school division are doing to keep our students learning during this time of school shutdown. They are working very, very hard all day and into the evening, trying to connect with students, making sure there are learning opportunities available to them, either through a Google Classroom, online, through their websites, or through paper packets and phone calls home. So I want to just share a few clips of some really exciting things that teachers and students are doing across Bedford County schools. The first one is a clip of a foreign language teacher using Screencastify, which is the same thing I'm using right now to speak to you, to teach her foreign language class to her high school Spanish students.
Hello, or should I say, hola. This afternoon, I would like to share briefly my continuity of learning plan. First of all, I will post lessons on Google Classroom, and I make those lessons through Screencastify. And as you see here, I will sometimes use an old-fashioned marker board and post lessons where I'm teaching using the marker board. And sometimes I will just type up some notes into a Google Doc or Google Slides and make a video while talking about those notes. And so I will post the lessons on Google Classroom, and I will also post the notes. And after the students watch the lessons and read the notes, they are encouraged to participate in these engaging activities. And these activities are designed to reinforce the content from the lessons. 3 programs that I enjoy and that I think the students enjoy as well are GimKit, Quizlet, and Edpuzzle. I send my students texts via Remind, and I send them texts to remind them to check their Google Classroom. I will send them texts just to encourage them and to motivate them as well. And I will also post in Google Classroom checkpoints to see how well the students are understanding the content that is presented in the lessons. And I usually will post checkpoints that are in quizzes or Flipgrid, which is great because students will record themselves. And of course, I use Google programs such as Docs, Google Slides, and Google Forms. So as you can see, I try not to use too many resources. I just try to use the things that the students are already familiar with and hopefully that they enjoy using so they will stay engaged. And I'm hoping that they are retaining what they're learning, and they know that they always have an open line of communication with me. They can send me emails or messages through Google Classroom at any time. Thank you, and I hope this was helpful.
Our next clip is from an elementary school. Here, the art teacher and the STEAM teacher have decided to let the students express themselves through their artwork and projects that they're creating at home. Students send a picture of their artwork or send a picture of a project they're doing into their teacher, and their teacher's displaying it on their virtual website for art. our next clip is of a primary teacher who is doing morning meeting with her students. This is such an important activity for our young ones. This is a time when they come together as a classroom family and they sit on the carpet and they say good morning to one another. They check on one another's feelings. They're missing that now that they're at home. So this teacher has recreated that in a virtual environment so these kids can see each other and talk about how they're feeling during this very unprecedented time.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Ellie.
Good morning, Emma. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. I hope you have a great Earth Day.
You too.
So Riley Palmer is with us today from Jefferson Forest High School. She's a 10th grader. And Everett Graham is also with us. He's a 7th grader at Liberty Middle School. And I've asked them to join us today to talk about their learning experiences while we've been in this school closure. So Everett, Riley, thank you for joining us today remotely through Zoom. I really appreciate it. So Everett, I want to start with you. So what type of activities have you been doing while you've been at home that are classwork? What types of things have your teachers asked you to do?
Well, so for algebra, Miss Vincent had already made video lessons for us to do in math. So we just like get to learn at our own pace, and we do the video lesson and get down our notes, and then we move on to power test. And with science, she just kind of does the same thing. She does a PowerPoint, and we just get down our notes, and then we take it.
Awesome. Riley, what has been probably the best activity you've had to do for classwork at home?
For me, my favorite activity we've done is just being able to watch the videos because it's more one-on-one, like you're actually in the classroom and helps me learn.
So this is Bentley Morton, and Bentley is a kindergartner at Huddleston Elementary, and he's agreed to answer a couple of questions about how he's doing school. And just a little secret, Bentley's mom is a teacher and his grandma is a teacher. And so he's not only getting instruction from his teacher at school, but also from his mom and his grandma Betts. So he's doing a lot of school. So Bentley, what kind of things have you been doing for your schoolwork since you've been stuck at home?
I've been doing my Excel and reading eggs and my checklist.
What's on your checklist?
Measuring airplanes and
writing letters
and doing short letters. Doing
Okay.
short vowel letters.
Ooh, short vowel letters. That's great. So you've been reading a lot too, haven't you?
Yeah.
Practicing your reading skills? Good. Do you ever get on the computer with your teacher? Do you get to see your teacher sometimes?
Well, I get to see Miss Zacharias sometimes.
Okay, so Miss Zacharias gets online with you. What does she do with you?
Beth pulls up her class and I sometimes see her on the screen. And
Okay.
then Beth tells us to do math.
Okay, so you're doing like math online and stuff like that?
Tell her you're counting by fives
I'm
and
counting by 5s and 10s and 2s.
Ooh, okay. Can you count by fives a little bit for me?
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm sure all of you are wondering a little bit about how we're doing grading during this time of school closure. Our State Department has asked that we not grade students on material that is new to them while they're not in school with their teachers. So what we're doing is we are taking our students' grades from the last day we were together, which was March 13th, and we're coming up with their yearly average as of that day. The exciting thing is that students can improve this grade. That grade will never get worse. It can never go down. It can only go up.
And so as students are taking these opportunities that teachers are giving them and working hard on them and mastering their content, teachers are going to be keeping a record, not a grade, a record of their mastery. And then they have an opportunity to improve that grade as the rest of the year goes on, into the summer, and even into next year. We are committed to make sure that our learners get everything they can from our teachers and their education. So if students can't access things because they don't have the internet or they can't get to the school to get packets, don't worry. When students can come back to school, we're going to have a robust, hopefully, summer program, and we're going to have robust remediation into the school year and during the school year. We are committed to making sure that our students catch up. Join us next week for our next Facebook Live at 3 o'clock on Thursday and learn a little bit more about how our one-to-one device initiative has helped us through this time with learning at home, and hear a little bit more about what our technology department is doing. Until we see you next week, stay safe.